As a runner, we're very focused on results, and we want to get those fast times, and we want to make teams, and we want to make it into the Boston Marathon and the New York Marathon. But focusing also on process-oriented results can be really beneficial. So today I'm going to chat with Erin Teschuk and Jess O'Connell again about how we can keep a process-oriented mindset to achieve our goals. There's been a lot of talk recently about process-oriented goals versus result-oriented goals, and a lot of research supports the fact that your outcome and your satisfaction is higher when you can focus on the process versus the result, which is really hard when you're trying to make an Olympic team or a Boston qualifier, or you want to run a PB, because at the heart of it, runners, we're all goal-oriented. Not all, but we like to see ourselves run fast, and we like to have success in it. So shifting the mindset from being very results-driven to being more process-driven takes some work. And it's something that I've really been focusing on, and it's brought me more enjoyment in my sport, and put less emphasis again on, the end-all be-all. What do you think, Jessica, having been at this for many years now?
Yeah, I can't agree more with the value of process-oriented goals, because if you want to be a long-term athlete, you really have to love the process. And as I've gone on through my career, yes, of course I have outcome goals. I have PBs that I want to run. I wear a watch for a reason. And it can be really hard to throw yourself into something and spend a lot of energy on something that's not in your control. I find it hard to be my very best, but if other people are better, and I've done my very best, then I can't consider that to be a personal failure if I've done my best. And so that has helped me reshape how I approach running as well, just in that I can only do what I can do. I think that having more process-oriented goals, things like, I'm going to give my best effort on this workout. I'm going to rehab my injury properly tonight. I'm going to foam roll. I'm going to run the run at the speed it was intended at. Just these little teeny tiny things every single day give me intermediate success between achieving big outcome goals that keep me motivated and they keep me feeling like I am moving forward.
Yeah, I think Jess really nailed it. Yeah, it's just, it's something that you can control. And I think for me, a lot of times when I'm setting goals, sometimes I will start with that final goal, like, my goal is to make an Olympic team, but then take it from there and then break it down to more process goals. I think writing it down is a great way to do it at the beginning of a season. And then, as Jess said, even daily goals is great, because it's like you feel like you have momentum. When you're checking off a goal each day, you're having momentum and working towards those bigger goals.
For me, in the marathon, the execution of a race also becomes, and I'm sure for you, becomes very process-oriented. So while I have a goal in mind when I step the line, as soon as the race goes, it's am I staying relaxed? Am I paying attention to fueling? Am I getting my 2 or 3 kilometer marks, getting my hydration? Not maybe being a slave to my watch, kind of using the splits as feedback instead of, I'm 2 seconds slow, or I got it, and getting so fixated on pace, which is a very, very results-driven kind of feedback mechanism. And then also thinking about how you want to feel. Like, I want to feel relaxed, I want to feel strong. It helped me a lot on the track as well. So as you are doing track workouts, are you thinking about how you want to feel while you're doing your intervals, or are you just thinking about the pace that you want to run?
That's a great point. Often track intervals are so unforgiving because you have paces that you want to hit. And often in an interval, if I'm running kilometer repeats and they're a second too slow, that's a failure, which is ludicrous because maybe it's windy, maybe I'm a little bit sick, maybe I ate too much or too little or something like that. Maybe it's just a second, maybe I hit my watch wrong, and that is crazy. So I think that's a great point, that the times and big objective measurable things aren't everything. If you try and force a pace when maybe it's not there, that's not right. That's actually not good training. It's all about reading the process, reading what you're doing your very best in that moment, given what you've been given and the information you have.
Having a process-oriented goal depends often on having a purpose in what you're doing. So how do you design your purpose?
Yeah, I think you know, being able to know your training is really important for that. So, you know, as Jess mentioned, sometimes you go and do a K workout and you're like panicked because you're a couple seconds off. But it also really helps if you're like, okay, what's the purpose of this workout? Like maybe the purpose is to feel what it feels like at the end of a 5K, you know, and get that feeling in your legs. Focus on that. So while you're in it, instead of, you know, paying so much attention to the splits, being like, am I getting the purpose of this workout? I know for me sometimes, you know, when I'm just starting track workouts and I'm not like quite as fit as I want to be, sometimes the workout might not be going how I want. And I just focus on the fact that doing this is making me better. The purpose of this is for me to hurt right now so I can execute in a race a couple months from now. So if I'm achieving that purpose, I'm doing what I have to do today.
That's an excellent point. It sort of is similar to, you're not always going to be hitting your goal paces early in the season, but you're still working towards them and you're training to be somewhere in 2 or 3 months, and that requires focusing on the big goal but going through those little steps, and of course understanding the purpose of what you're doing.